Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode in the Get Unstuck series with myself, Sarah Archer. I am a career and leadership coach, and I work with female leaders to create the kind of career success that's right for them. That means they don't have to sell out or burn out, that they can have the kind of career that enables them to thrive, to be at their best, and to get paid and rewarded for their worth and contribution. So I work with people to find those kind of roles, but also when they're in those kind of roles, to be successful and create the kind of compassionate leadership style that really enables them to be a great leader. And I created the Get Unstuck series to give you 15 minutes in your working week to think about something that's important to you around your career. So something that's going to inspire you, motivate you, give you tools and techniques to help you move forward in your career and just get a little bit of time to think about what's important to you, because when we're busy doing the day job, focusing on our career development can be quite hard to find that space. So this is what the Get Unstuck series gives you, 15 minutes once a week just to focus on something career related. And I'm always open to topics. So if you've got something you'd like me to focus on, please do let me know and I will create that for you. So if you're here with me live, do say hello in the comments, do give me a little wave. If you've got questions about today's topic, pop them into the chat and I will answer them. And if you're watching on replay, then just tag me in the comments and I'll come back and answer those questions for you. The live series, the Get Unstuck series, it's always very practical. It's about 15 minutes in length and you'll always come away with something that you can action straight away. So today's topic, let's dive into it. So this is all about how to get your leadership mojo back if it's sort of disappeared, gone on walkabout, because let's face it, we've probably all at some point in our career experienced that sense of our mojo just not being there, just not feeling that same energy or engagement or passion for what we're doing. And certainly in my career, I have experienced that at different points. And it's certainly led me to make changes in my career. It's led me to change organizations. It's led me to change career. So, what we're going to explore today is things that you can do both short term and long term if you feel your career mojo just isn't there and you're really missing it, because it's what gives us that energy and that engagement, isn't it? So let's think about why it might go. So why you might be experiencing a dip in your leadership mojo. So it could be that maybe you're kind of feeling that there's a huge amount of responsibility sitting on your shoulders, that maybe it's all on you, that you feel like you're just kind of pushing this huge rock uphill to either affect change or to get your team to deliver or to make something happen in the organization. And it just feels like it's just you and you're on your own, just making this kind of trying to move this rock, and it's just a huge heavy weight. Or it might be that you've kind of done everything that you need to in your role. So maybe when you took the role on, it was about transformation, it was about making a difference, having an impact, and maybe you've achieved all of that, and you've got that sense of it's nothing new, no challenge, I'm just kind of plateauing, just feeling that I've done everything that I wanted to do. Or maybe the organization has become, in terms of its growth or its place, it's kind of become more systemized, more process driven. Maybe you feel there's less room for innovation, for managed risk taking, for creativity, and you're just not turned on by this kind of plateauing, or the organization is just kind of in maintenance mode before it maybe moves to growth, but it's just not giving you that same buzz. So your mojo's disappeared. Maybe you are putting everybody else's needs before your own. So you're beginning to just feel a bit like there's no space for you, there's no room for you. You're just kind of doing everything for everybody else, both personally and at work. Or maybe there's too much change going on in the organization, and it's just beginning to feel it's taking its toll, and you can't summon up the same level of enthusiasm and energy to make those changes happen. Or maybe it's kind of a bit situational. Maybe you've just come back from a holiday. Maybe you need a holiday. Maybe you've had a milestone in your life some way, age or something in your life that's happened recently. Or maybe you've just had a spate of kind of bad experiences at work, things just not going your way, and it's just making you feel a bit meh about work. So it can be, sort of short-term situational, or it could be these kind of longer-term things where it could mean that a change of role or a change of organisation is on the cards for you. So if in some of those situations you can't see that things are going to shift at all, it might be then that you've got to put your energy into finding something new. But what we're going to explore today is what things you could put in place to try and get some kind of shift in your mojo, which doesn't require you to leave the organisation. But it's also recognising when it might be time to go, and maybe you've been putting that off because it feels quite a hard job to find something new. So how does it make you feel when you've lost your leadership mojo? Well, it might be that you're feeling a bit adrift, that you just feel like there's no anchor there. I'm just feeling a bit, disconnected. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. There's just too much going on, just feeling that sense of approaching burnout potentially, or just not being able to see the wood for the trees. Maybe you're feeling disengaged from the organisation and what it's trying to achieve. Maybe you're feeling a bit uncertain about where is my place, what's next for me, or even uncertainty in the organisation and where it's moving to. Or maybe you're feeling a bit stagnant, that there's just nothing inspiring you. But all of those feelings are not great to experience, are they? I know certainly about 18 months ago in my business, I was feeling like I'd lost my business mojo, not in my coaching practice, but in the kind of business, because I've been running my business for over 10 years. And I just felt I'd lost that energy, that mojo to kind of move it forward. And I did have to take action. What I decided to do was find some external support, find a business coach just to help me bring that kind of creativity, innovation, energy back into the business, because I couldn't do it on my own. But I think the great thing about recognizing that your mojo has disappeared is that it gives you the opportunity to just press pause and engage in some reflection to work out what is going on. So it's just a helpful sign that something needs to change, either in a small way or in a bigger way in your existing situation. So it's quite a useful thing to notice so that you can then take action. And I'm guessing if you've signed up for today's session, then your concern may be that you're not feeling the same level of passion and energy for your role. So obviously what we're going to look at today is some ideas to help you regain that. But the first thing to think about might be just to kind of think about your leadership identity. So having the opportunity to just press pause and reflect, it might be, because we are always growing and evolving as leaders. So it might be just worth thinking about, okay, what kind of leadership identity do I currently have? And what do I actually want my leadership identity, my leadership brand to be? And what's the gap there? So being able to kind of do that reflective piece can be really helpful in terms of noticing that actually you're about to engage in a period of growth as a leader, or you need to do some reconnection with your values and passion as a leader. So I was coaching someone a couple of years ago. She was a senior leader in financial services, and she'd just been promoted, and she wanted to kind of do some work around her positioning in the organization. But actually, as we started to unpack it, there was some work to do around her leadership mojo and her new identity and her new leadership role. And what she wanted to try and do was reconnect with her values and her passion, which was around people and enabling people, especially women, to have success in the financial services sector. She didn't want to leave her organization. She was really good on her kind of delivery and what was making her a great leader in terms of the strategic piece, but she really needed to have something additional. And so what we did is kind of some work around reconnection with her values, which led her to then engage in some leadership activities which were kind of outside her day-to-day leadership role, which were more about EDI, which were more about how she could promote women in leadership externally to her organization, how she could develop a mentoring scheme internally within her organization. And that just enabled her to re-engage with her leadership identity, change it to a degree. And she kind of felt her mojo returning in terms of her position in the organization and how much time she wanted to spend in that organization going forward, because she didn't want to leave. She had to find a way of reconnecting with something that enabled her to feel passion for the organization and for her different roles in the organization. So doing that piece around what's my leadership identity and what do I want it to be can be really powerful. The second thing to do is just a kind of practical check-in, and I'm not going to spend very much time on this idea, but it's just a useful thing to do, is just to think about your energy levels and what you could do practically to increase them, because that contributes to your mojo. So that's those things around kind of sleep, nutrition, hydration, and the kind of the elements that feed you and that give you energy. So just doing a kind of check-in, you know, am I relying on kind of stimulants? Am I relying on coffee and sugar to get my energy? You know, do I need to do some tweaks around my hours of work, my you know, food that I'm putting into my body, how much sleep I'm getting, etc. So that's just a kind of little side to make sure you're not neglecting that piece as well. And then the next couple of strategies I am borrowing from Tony Robbins. So I'm just going to credit him with these ideas, but I think they're really useful at just helping shift your mindset, particularly if you think, okay, I want to stay where I am, but I just need to get my mojo back. So the first one would be to prime yourself for success. And what do I mean by this? So it's a bit of a mindset shift, but this is a small thing that you could do every day that can just shift how you feel about what you're about to do. So it might be about starting with a bit of meditation or some mindfulness just to kind of get you in the zone. And if you struggle with those activities, there's a really brilliant time app called Insights Timer, which has basically a meditation for everything and has hundreds of practitioners on there. So you'll be bound to find one that you like and that you can engage with. And literally you could just choose a 5-minute meditation just to get you in the zone. And then you want to be setting an intention for the day. And these are really powerful. So that might be something like, I'm going to be really productive today. I'm going to feel positive about the 10 meetings I've got scheduled for today. I'm going to power through the key things on my to-do list today, or whatever, you know, is going to make you feel just a lift in energy when you set that intention for how you want that particular day to go. And you're probably going to have a different intention for every day, but it's just about setting the tone for your day, and it can just shift how you then go on to experience that day and how you can set yourself up for success. Because if you've lost your mojo, then you'll probably be feeling that you're not having impact, that you're not having the success that would drive you and enable you to kind of push through. So by setting yourself up for success, by priming yourself, it can really make a difference to your day. Because also what you'll notice is when you've lost your mojo, those kind of limiting beliefs, that inner critic will be louder. And so you have to work harder, which then drains you, to manage those sort of inner voices. So just doing things like priming yourself for success can be really helpful with that. Obviously, if you're struggling with your inner critic and those voices, you might want to have some coaching support around helping with you with that. But another thing you can think about doing is embracing the concept of life happening for you and not to you. Because when you've lost your mojo and you're feeling low in energy, you kind of feel like you don't have so much control of your situation, and you can get into that kind of why me dialogue. And so it's good to be able to just reframe this again, so that if you have a difficult situation or an event that hasn't gone your way or hasn't gone well, being able to see it as an opportunity to grow, to become resilient, to develop your capability, to cope with adversity, can be really, really powerful. And it's partly kind of tapping into that Buddhist philosophy of being able to be thankful for something happening happening that allows you to grow and to develop. So being able to kind of be thankful, okay, I'm thankful that actually I'm feeling that I've lost my mojo at the moment, because it gives me an opportunity to pause and reflect and think about my growth, is just one way to start repositioning what's happening to you at the moment, and seeing it as it's happening for me, so that as a leader I can become a better leader, or I can find a better organization that allows me to thrive, or I can learn how to manage my energy when it's not always there in the way that I want it to be. So again, you could think about amplifying your gratefulness practice if you have one already. If you don't have a gratefulness practice, maybe engaging in one. The positive psychology research shows that even if you indulge in finding 3 things to be thankful for every day for a week, the research shows it increases your well-being for up to 6 months. So making it a regular practice can be really powerful at boosting your well-being, which is ultimately going to boost your mojo. So thinking about how you can maybe engage in a gratefulness practice, but also noticing if you're having a bad experience, thinking about what can I learn from it and how can I be thankful that this is helping me. And sometimes that can feel a stretch. And I do realize that, it can feel a stretch to do it. But if you can start to reframe those experiences, it's just going to help you throughout your leadership career. And then the final thing to think about is transforming your words in terms of how you talk to yourself, but also talking about how you're feeling. So if you're saying, oh, I'm really tired, I'm really exhausted, I've lost my mojo, then your body is going to respond to those words and you are going to feel how you've described. Whereas if you say, I'm feeling energetic today, I'm feeling really positive, I know I'm going to have a great day and I'm going to make a difference. Even just saying that now in this live, I can feel how my body is responding to that and how just my posture changes, and I feel kind of that sense of uplift. Because when we talk to ourselves negatively, or we express things negatively, we can kind of create that self-fulfilling prophecy that feeds into how we might be feeling. So just noticing, what's my language around my energy? What's my language around my mojo and what makes me feel great? And just experimenting with it and just seeing what the difference can be for you can be really helpful. So let's just do a quick recap of some of the things that could be helpful for you. So noticing, is this a long-term loss of mojo, or is it something short-term? Because that will help you decide how to address it. Then thinking about, this is an opportunity for me to pause and reflect, to think about my leadership identity, and then to think about what actions I want to take and experiment with some of the ideas around transforming your language. So thinking about the words that you use, seeing it as an opportunity to reframe it as life is happening for me, not to me, and then priming yourself for success by setting an intention every day, and also thinking about how you can amplify or start a gratefulness practice. So I hope this sort of short session has given you maybe just a boost to think about how you can start getting your leadership mojo back. Obviously, if you feel, actually, I need some support with this around, I need to change organizations, find a new role, then please do get in touch with me. I can definitely help you with that. Find the right role that's going to help you thrive and have a high leadership mojo. Or if you think, actually, I need some support around just doing some reframing in my current role because I can get my leadership mojo back here, I just need help to do that, then please do get in touch. You can just send me a DM on LinkedIn, or you can email me at sarah@careertreecoaching.co.uk. And I will be back next Wednesday, 12:15, and I'm going to be talking about... what am I going to be talking about next Wednesday? I've completely forgotten what my topic is going to be. But I'm going to be advertising it tomorrow. So check out the events in my LinkedIn profile and you'll find the topic there. I can't believe I've just forgotten about what I'm going to be talking about next week. It will come back to me. So have a great week, and I will see you back here next Wednesday at 12:15.